Ready or Not is a movie directed by Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette. And I got to see an early screening of this movie thanks to Sosa. Shout outs to Sosa. Thank you for getting me that pass. And the movie has what I guess is an ensemble cast, although I'm not familiar with all the actors, but I was pleasantly surprised to see Adam Brody and Andie MacDowell. If you're a 90s kid, you know who Andie MacDowell is. She's been on a bunch of freaking movies in the 90s. She's very well known during that era, and here she is. She's back. Anyways, this movie, it stars basically this actress named Samara Weaving, who I'm going to call her for this review not Margot Robbie, because when I look at this girl, she looks a lot like Margot Robbie. I mean a lot, to the point where like I thought it was Margot Robbie, because they've been showing this trailer for this movie before everything. I mean, dude, even all the way back to I think Detective Pikachu. I want to say even that, or maybe John Wick. I don't really remember, but I've seen the trailer for this movie for months, man. And here we are. So this film is basically a suspense thriller. No, it's a black comedy disguised as a suspense thriller. So looking at it from the surface, you can kind of tell that it's, you know, there are some aspects of thriller stuff. There is some supernatural horror even in this movie. But it's, if you didn't see the trailers, you can figure this out really in the first like 10 minutes of the movie. It's a dark comedy. It's not supposed to be serious. It's played up for laughs. And there are some things in this movie that I think were, you know, kind of stupid. I mean, the movie I would describe it as being stupid fun. It's not a very smart movie. It's a dumb little comedy. Lots of, you know, violence and gore and over the top stuff like that. You know, a lot of slapstick gore type comedy. And a couple of twists here and there, some of which don't really make any sense at all, and others do make sense. Like, there's characters in this movie that switch sides, and it happens so often they get confused, like the Big Show in WWE. But then, like, it makes no sense as to why they even did that earlier in the film. So there are some writing problems in this movie without question. But if you can put that aside, the movie is a fun little romp. Is it worth seeing multiple times? Probably not. As I was walking out of the theater, there was a woman who said it was the greatest movie she's ever seen in her life. No, come on. Seriously, I disagree with that opinion vehemently, but it is a fun movie. So Samara Weaving plays Grace, who just got married to Alex, and he's a member of this very wealthy family, and they have these weird traditions they play whenever somebody gets married, and they're these different games. Well, they end up playing a version of hide and seek, but of course, this version of hide and seek goes dark because she has to hide around the house, and they have to find her and kill her. They have to hunt her down and kill her, because if they don't, then they're worried about an ancient curse possibly killing all of them. They have to kill her before this curse kills all of them. They don't really explain the roots of the curse until later in the film, so I'm not going to spoil that for you if you want to go see the movie. But if you know about, like, if you read up on the occult and things like that, it's going to make sense to you. It's going to be a natural fit. But boy, when you get to the end of the movie, it gets so insanely ridiculous. It literally becomes sort of like Evil Dead in a way. But one thing I did like is the fact that Grace as a character does not just become a badass like, you know, like Ash did in Evil Dead. No, she actually tries to become a badass and fails at it multiple times. And I love that. That was actually great character writing in the movie, because she's not like, you know, people are going to think this movie's like an SJW thing because they're showing her on screen with like a gun and, oh, it's woman empowerment. No. It's none of that. It's the movie's total comedy. And I don't even think that would even be SJW stuff. Like, women being in power is not automatically SJW stuff, but some people on the internet think it is. That's not how it is with this film. No, this movie, she has never shot a gun before, has never been in a situation like this before, and it shows. And that part's really well done. But there's some weird things in the movie. For example, characters appear like in areas far away from where they were like 5 seconds ago. Like, I don't know if these characters know how to teleport, but like, she goes into the forest, right, which is really far away from the house, drives very far away, and gets stopped by the butler. And then later on, like in that same area, the dad shows up, even though the dad was in the previous scene in the house. This is like, she drives for a few minutes in this car down the road. It makes no sense to how he was able to pop up there faster. That was dumb. Like, there's a lot of dumb things in the movie. But if you like, you know, overly violent, gory movies, it's a great date movie. It's a great comedy. I mean, the whole movie has lots of, you know, one-liners and twists and interesting moments here and there played up for laughs. Then go see the movie. It's definitely not a movie for little kids, I would say, because it's got a lot of blood. and limbs get blown off, and there's injuries, and I'm not gonna go into everything, but people get hit in the face with hot tea glasses and all kinds of stuff. It depends on how on your own kind of judgment. But the movie's only about 95 minutes, not very long at all. And like I said, it was a fun little romp. But it's just, to me, it's a fun date movie, but it is a goofy movie. And I don't mean the Disney Goofy movie. That's a classic. I mean, it's just a wacky, kind of stupid movie, but it's supposed to be stupid, if that makes sense. It's not really satire. It's not really like Scary Movie at all. Even though I can see some like satire in the film, some parody making fun of, other horror movies. I can totally see that. But when it comes to this, the gore is like a Quentin Tarantino movie where it's kind of played up like over the top. That's how it is in this film. The movie's very over the top. So that's my review for Ready or Not. I would give it a thumbs in the middle, slightly pointing up. Like I said, good date movie. But beyond that, there's probably better stuff to go see. Good Boys, which I think a lot funnier. But again, it depends on what kind of comedy you like. So very subjective. Thank you again. Hope you have a good one. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought of Ready or Not when you go see it. Talk to you soon.